Hello, and welcome to the show. Cooperville Live, back on the air. Happy Tuesday afternoon. What a day. What a day, I say. Joe is already in the house, throwing up them horns. I like it. Welcome back. To everyone who joined the show yesterday, thank you. Great conversation with Jess and Tanette. That video is up wherever you are watching. Facebook Live on the Cooperville Live page. It is on youtube.com/Cooperville Live. It is on Twitch, on the Cooperville Live Twitch channel. If you do the browser thing, I think it's twitch.tv/No Limit Cooper. There you go. There you go. The show is brought to you by Captain Coop's Beard Company. That's that Captain Quarters goodness that you need to have to grow a fabulous beard just like myself. Give me that logo. Right there. Oh, right there. Right there. Everything is backwards. Right there. Nope, right there. CaptainCoops.com. Beard oils, beard balms, beard butters for the bearded brethren or ladies. I'm not here to judge. We got the stuff for you. Captain's Quarters, man. That's the cat's meow. The cat's pajamas, as my friend Wade would say. The cat's pajamas. If you want to help support the show, keep the show going as we have our studio built out. We're PCs shy of having craziness happen in here. That should be here this week. Please help support the show. You can do that by joining our Patreon. Link to our Patreon is in the comment sections. So you get to help the show. You get exclusive content, all the stuff, which is super cool. And the rebrand, the launch of Cooperville Clothing, that is all coming. I actually have a call on Thursday with Joey. We're going to talk about the store. It's all happening. Just dancing today. I don't know why. I know why now. The very talented Murphy Elmore is joining this show in about 8 minutes. That's why. He's got a brand new song. It's called Drop Dead Dangerous. It is streaming everywhere. You need to go and listen to it. It is a kick-ass country tune from Murphy Elmore. Go listen to it. Streaming everywhere. That music is streaming. Excited to talk to Murphy in just a bit. That's what we got going on. If it is your first time watching the show, welcome. We do this every single weekday starting at 5 p.m. Guests of all walks of life, mainly musicians, because after 20 years in radio, that's those are the peeps I know. Those are the peeps I know. But wherever you're watching from, if you're on the Facebook page, make sure you follow the Facebook page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit the little bell icon, which I think they put down in that corner. Is it? I don't know. The notification icon so that you get notified every time we do go live. And same thing on Twitch. The Cooperville Live Twitch channel. Make sure you follow, and you'll get the notifications when we go live. Which, like I said, is every single weekday at 5 p.m. But no, it's been a good week so far. 2 days into it. My son is still in town, which is great. He's been hanging out with the cousins, and it's strange that I realized, and I'm sure I've realized this before, but today was really a revelation. My son is a virtual learner, so he's able to travel back and forth from here to his mom's house, and he can still do his schoolwork. So, but me trying to like go over with him, be like, hey, like let's get focused, let's get our schoolwork done, is a challenge, like a major challenge, which I'm sure it is for anybody who's a parent who had to go through maybe the latter portion of last school year. But but man, his cousin Emily, who he's been hanging out with the last 2 days, is like, I don't know if she's cracking the whip or if he just responds better to her. But he's been getting after getting that schoolwork done. So that's been fun. We got the Wisconsin State Forward testing he's got to go to tomorrow. So he's super excited for that. Like, yeah, come back in, go into school, and hey, let's have a test all day. And it's not even really for his benefit. It's more to gauge where the the school district is, and helps with funding and things of the nature. But he is super excited, and that is a blatant lie that I tell you right there. He is not looking forward to it. But But he is looking forward to this weekend. Last weekend, if you watched the show yesterday, we had his birthday party here over the weekend, and we went bowling on Sunday and did all the things. And his actual birthday is coming up on Friday, so he's going to be 11 years old. 11. I kept something alive and healthy for the most part for 11 years. So I don't know if you get if you're a parent of somebody who's older than 11, do you get like a badge for that, or do you get like a championship belt? I think we should. I think we should get one. No, we don't. You don't get nothing. You get to keep paying the bills for another 7 years, and then probably well after they're into the teen years. So I don't know, but exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Getting ready for festival season. Of course, I've worked out at the music festivals that we have here in the Chippewa Valley over in Cadott. So getting things ready for 2 major festivals coming up: Country Fest in June and Rock Fest in July. And things are full ahead, man. Full ahead steam. We're rocking out. We got 3+ days for both events, and it's exciting. There's a buzz in the air. You're starting to see some more shows pop up. The Otherwise guys were in town last week. My buddy Nixon from Framing Hanley. Framing Hanley is going to be up in our neck of the woods coming up in a couple weeks, early May. So that's exciting to start to see some of those guys come back out and rock out to some shows, and great for the fans too. I know fans have been really missing that live music element in their lives, and this has been a great injection of live music. So we're excited, and it's exciting to talk to some of the artists that we've had on the show that are also looking at 2021 as a year to get back into doing live shows and getting back on the road and meeting fans and seeing fans. I spent a lot of time over the last year. Jess was talking about this last night on the show. A lot of time over the past year, really, getting writing done and working on social media stuff, interacting with fans via social media. So there's been that curtain between fan and artist that you normally have kind of peeled back when you get to see a live show. But you're starting to see some things open up, which is a great sign for the sanity of the country, because there's been some crazy shit. I think we could all pretty much agree we've made it through some crazy shit in the last 390 some days to flatten the curve. So, there's things to look forward to. There are plenty of things to look forward to. By the way, things to look forward to this week. We have a surprise guest coming up on Friday. So if you're a member of our Patreon, which you can, wherever your comments are, maybe they're down below, maybe they're above, maybe they're over here, maybe they're over there. Subscribe to the Patreon. You'll find out who is going to be on Friday. And Thursday, I will tell you, Raul the Rapper is going to be on, which I'm super excited about. Check out Raul the Rapper on Instagram and just jam out to some of his stuff. Dude's I'm super excited to have him on and chat with Raul about all the cool stuff that he does. He's a very cool fella. So he's coming up on Thursday. And so we got lots of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire. Next week, I'm obviously a football fan, Packer fan. Wisconsin NFL draft is next week, which is awesome. In-person NFL draft. Very excited about that. Always been a draft watcher. It's very weird. But Bill Michaels is going to come back on the show. Legendary sports broadcaster Bill Michaels will be back on. We're going to talk NFL draft coming up on Monday next week. So that is super exciting. And even more exciting on top of that is, I believe, by the time that Monday rolls around, we should have maybe not the studio build out, because this is all going this is going to be different back here. We may even have a different angle. I don't know. But the new system will be in place. It's going to be wild and super high quality. We're going to be broadcasting in 4K, which, if you thought this face wasn't crystal clear enough, wait till we're doing it in 4K. I apologize in advance. But things will be much speedier. We're actually more than likely leaving StreamYard, and we're going to be going onto a different platform. But your comments and stuff we'll still be streaming to all the locations, which is super, super badass. And we're really excited that that's going to launch next week on the show. So plenty to look forward to, and make sure you subscribe. That's kind of the biggest thing, because that's what keeps the oil in the cog of the machine that is Cooperville Live. So without further ado, I see Murphy Elmore is hanging out in the green room. We're going to chat a whole bunch of stuff. He's on the road. The man's a mover and a shaker. He's got a kick-ass new single that's out that we're going to push across 20,000 streams with this show. Murphy Elmore is in the house. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good. How'd you know I was on the road?
If it's not you're on the road, you have a really badass green screen going on. Like that's sweet.
Well, yeah. So it turns out Nashville traffic may have got a hold of me a little bit today. I'm working my way back towards the house, but yeah, I-40 decided we were going to start this one in the truck. So hope that's not a problem.
No, it's all good, man. This is just real life. You know, that's the great thing about live streaming is everything is in real time. But it's good to hear that Nashville traffic is, you know, I know it's a pain in the ass right now, but that there's people moving around. Things are starting to open back up for the sounds of things.
Yeah, man. Last I heard is we're back full at it. So, and I actually just came from downtown, and I think that was a correct rumor because it was wild down there. Certainly, everybody seems to kind of be enjoying that, which is awesome. It's really great to see, though, man, because for a while there it was as nice as it was from some aspects, being, you know, local and everything with not as much traffic and stuff. It almost didn't feel like home for a while because it was just kind of like a ghost town there for a bit. But you know, they seem to have really been putting in the work to try to make it happen to where we can get back to this. So no complaints here. I'll take the traffic any day as long as it doesn't disrupt anything like this. So can't complain too much.
No, man, and it's so good to hear because, you know, Nashville, obviously, you know, you being down in that area, you know that it's become more than a space for just, you know, country music. It's really become a hub for all music and art and, you know, obviously the big tourist industry that comes down there. You guys got, there's football, there's hockey, there's, you know, it's just this awesome, very friendly community.
Yeah, it's definitely really different from where I grew up, but there's so much cool stuff, so many cool things to do here. And like you said, I mean, it's kind of, you never really know exactly what group is there for what that you run across, but they're all there for something, and it seems like it's kind of got a little bit of something for everybody. And it's really cool. So I'm originally from Alabama, and to my knowledge, we don't have anything hockey related. So my first hockey experiences ever were up here in Nashville, and also NFL. We don't have anything NFL related in Alabama. So I'm kind of, you know, falling into the groove of being a Titans fan and a Preds fan. But you know, it's been fun. It's been a lot of good times going to stuff like that, but it's definitely way different from where I grew up.
But is it like, I think like Crimson Tide though, that's pretty much the NFL. I mean, everybody on the Crimson Tide pretty much ends up going. It's basically an NFL team in college uniforms. Oh, it's like we lost the signal. We'll pull him out and we'll oh, there he's back.
Oh, sorry about that.
But it's no, I think you're back now.
That should. Yeah, that should be. Yeah, I believe so. How's it on your end? If not, it's about to be fixed.
We're working with it. It's all good. But I want to talk about, you know, we're about to get close. But tell me about getting started in music in Alabama. Like, when did it first cross your mind that music was going to be a thing that you dove into that became part of you know, your career path, your life choice?
You know, to be fully honest with you, it was just something I kind of always loved to do as far as, you know, just I was the kid that sang every word to every song on the radio. And I never really thought about making a living doing it or trying to make a living doing it. It started out as just something I love to do. And, just kind of one of those things that almost became an addiction to where I couldn't stop once I started learning guitar and diving in. And then just kind of decided one night I was like, you know, I'm going to try to write a song. And I actually kind of pranked my parents because I wanted the honest opinion, right? Like I knew if I told them, hey, I wrote this song, what do y'all think about it? They were going to love it because, you know, they're my parents, and I was blessed with very supportive parents. So I just, you know, played them the song. I didn't say anything about it because I wanted their honest reactions of it. And they're like, oh, that's really good. Whose is that? And I was like, it's mine. And then I ran across something that I didn't think about prior because they're like, nah, you didn't write that. I was like, no, I really did. And then I showed them, they were super stoked, and they kind of, I'd be lying if I said they didn't kind of push me in a good way to try to pursue it. Because, you know, like I said, it just seems like a whole nother world. And, you know, like you almost had to be born on that planet for that to be a thing. So I owe a lot of that to them, you know, always being supportive and kind of, you know, believing in what I wanted to do, and really all aspects of life. They've kind of always been there. And, so like I said, was very blessed and to have a great support system of family behind me. And, you know, now it's kind of grown, and it's growing, and the support system just keeps getting bigger. So very thankful for that. And, it's been a blast, man.
I think that's super cool to have such a supportive family element in there, because I think there can be times when, even obviously they saw the talent when you tried to pull the fast one on. I'm like, no, actually I wrote this song, but sometimes
after they found out I wasn't actually,
like, oh, he has something here. But sometimes you can hear, I've heard stories about like, well, this is great and we fully support you, but make sure you have, you know, a backup plan.
Yeah, that plan B. It's a dangerous thing, man. That plan B is dangerous.
Well, if you're focused on having a plan B, you take focus off of plan A, and
right. And this is an industry where it's hard enough with no plan B. I don't know if you have a fallback, if you can really put all your eggs in that basket. And I think that's kind of what it takes to be successful. And I mean, really a lot of things, but personally, I can say for sure that this industry is a roller coaster, and sometimes that plan B might not be the best for you.
Do you have artists, especially as you were growing up and kind of really diving into it, you know, like you said, really becoming an addict of learning guitar, you know, obviously expanding your songwriting capabilities, but are there artists that you looked up to, or kind of, I don't want to say, you know, like borrowed some things from, like, hey, you know, I like how so-and-so does this, or I like, you know, the stage presence of this person? Were there artists that, you know, as you've, you know, grown into your own, that kind of helped push you into certain directions?
Absolutely. I mean, in so many different genres as well, but I think I fell in love with country music because of Keith Whitley, the Keith Whitley album that we had. And I think it must have been it was either the only CD we owned at the time, or it was just the only one that they kept in the truck we would take out to the farm. But maybe it was a broken CD player, I don't know. But all we would ever listen to was this one Keith Whitley CD, and it was like one of the greatest hits albums. And as a kid, like, I don't remember ever complaining that was the only CD we had, because I just thought everything was great on there. And it's I mean, Keith Whitley to this day is still, you know, probably one of my favorites of all time. But kind of grew up around a lot of, you know, a very diverse, I guess, culture of music, because I had parents that listened to everything, whether it was, you know, country music, rock and roll, whether it was, you know, even some hip hop and pop music, and you know, praise and worship music, and it just kind of, it was just all kind of a melting pot of stuff. So I'm sure there's a lot of influences in there, but the first country artist I think that I started when I first started trying to teach, like, myself how to play guitar, I think the first song I ever tried to learn was a Brantley Gilbert song that was in the country genre, and I'm pretty sure My Kind of Crazy was one of the first ones I ever tried, like ever sat down and learned. And at the time I was way too shy to play that in front of anybody, and much less try to sing it. So I kind of nobody probably knew that I could even play that for a very long time, but I guess all that's changed a little bit now. I still love that song. That part hasn't changed. I'm still a huge Brantley Gilbert fan. I'm not as shy as I used to be.
I was just gonna say, like, at what point do the nerves kind of drop down a little bit, where you're kind of become a fearless, stage presence entertainer, not afraid to do your stuff in front of people?
For me, it was when I realized that it was fun. Like, it was fun. Like, I mean, and I mean that in a scale of where even though I was enjoying it, I used to just be terrified. And getting up on a stage was just like, scared the hell out of me. But it just kind of became fun, and just kind of became something to look forward to do. And I think at that point, it also helps with the show, because I feel like people see through that. And not that it's ever bad to be nervous, because Lord knows I still get nervous sometimes. But just when you're genuinely excited to be there and get to play your music for people, I think that's something that they can read. And, when they can tell you're excited, I think it gets them excited, and it's just overall a lot more fun for the entire experience. But, I actually would have probably never even played guitar or anything in front of people had it not been for my mom. She snitched on me to the youth director at the church that I grew up in, because they were needing somebody to play guitar, just acoustic guitar, and for the youth group. And I said nothing, because I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want, And my mom found out they were looking, and she ratted me out and was like, well, he plays guitar. So next thing I know, I'm playing guitar for the youth group. And at the time, it's like maybe 10 to 12 people that I've also known my entire life. But I remember that first night I ever had to play, I don't think I've ever been more afraid in my life. And I didn't even have to sing at that point or anything. I just literally had to get up and strum the guitar. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 15 years old. But a few times doing that, I was like, you know what, this isn't so bad. And then that's when she snitched and told them that I sang too. And so then they asked me to sing, and I was like, all right, Mom, I kind of appreciate what you're doing, but at the same time, you're killing me here. Anyway, so that's kind of how I started out, and realized it was something that I did really enjoy doing after a while, after I wasn't petrified anymore.
After Mom held your feet to the fire a little bit.
Yeah. I owe her a lot of me being here. I mean, I owe both my parents a lot of me being here, but her being a snitch and ratting me out to the church is the biggest portion of why I'm getting to do what I do right now. But so I'm very, very thankful for that. Might not have been at the time. I was probably pretty frustrated with that, but it all it's all worked out best so far. So.
Well, especially when you're 15, you got that teen angst, you got that teen boy angst, rolling through the body. You're like, oh, no, didn't want to do this, Mom.
No, like, God, you're embarrassing me. I don't know how you're going to tell people my secrets. You weren't even supposed to know that.
Right. So,
yeah, absolutely.
When does the move to Nashville? I want to say, when does the move happen? But like, when do you realize that like this is the place that you needed to be, that you need to be in the heart of where it all goes down?
It was kind of a lot of things, and also not that many things. Which I know doesn't make sense, but we had visited one time. I think I'd made one trip to Nashville to record a couple of songs that I'd written. And once again, my parents' idea. And we'd come up here for that trip. And I think that was actually the weekend of my 21st birthday. And we'd come up and done some stuff. And I think I moved up here maybe 2 months before I turned 22. So, but it was kind of it's kind of a lot of stuff going on in between all that, and I had some of the songs I'd recorded ended up in the hands of just by happenstance in the hands of somebody who lived in Nashville and was able to hear something in them and ended up getting to move up here on a publishing deal. So ended up moving up here in late 2014 on a deal that we signed, I think, in December 11th, 2015, I believe was the day. So I had a very, very blessed situation and all that. And, you know, for the life of me looking back, it's kind of funny to think that particular person was able to hear something, because I moved up to town after that. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I felt, you know, pretty confident. I was like, well, man, this guy hears something and I'm getting to move up here on this deal. And just to be totally honest with you, I was thinking, well, I must be pretty dang good. And well, then I moved up here and started writing with the people up here and get thrown into all this talent. I'm just like, oh, what in the world am I? I've got a long way to go. And I'm still working towards it, man. There's so many talented people here and so much, so much awesome talent. Is crazy. But yeah, I got humbled real quick when I got to town, and I'm still getting humbled every day being here, but I'm enjoying the ride thus far.
It's got that kind of that star quarterback, that coming out of high school, the star quarterback gets the college deal and ends up on campus and goes, oh, this isn't.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different. There's some other pretty talented players around here, but I can't imagine that you absorb a lot of that. With all that talent in there, you absorb some of their creativity and you grow on a daily basis just because you're in closer proximity to all that great talent.
You definitely learn a lot as long as I feel like as long as you're open to it and realize that where you're at and where some of these other people are and kind of the attitude you take with it versus, because I guess you could always look at it like, no, I'm good. I don't need room to grow or anything like that. Or you could let it humble and you'd be like, okay, I gotta work. I gotta get to work. But I will say though, there's so many, like most of the people here, at least, the ones that I've gotten the privilege to get to write with and everything like that, they never really make you feel like you're not there yet,
right.
But it's more so just kind of realizing how they approach things or the way that they're able to process an idea and stuff like that versus and then you just notice naturally things like that start kind of taking over and just become second instinct. I can't hardly have conversations with people anymore without at some point during something they say, I'll stop and be like, hold on just a second. I'll pull out my phone. I'll put a note in like, oh, this was a cool line, or this could be a cool song idea, or this could be, so it's like your brain starts to pick up on stuff like, I don't know. And people look at you like you're crazy, but it's actually more normal here around Nashville than I guess, back home or where I'm from, because they look at me like I've lost my mind when I'll be like, just hold on a second, keep that thought, but let me type this in real quick.
Well, you never know when you're going to find that gem, that one line that sparks the chorus, that sparks a whole song that becomes becomes the next hit single. It can happen at any moment.
Yeah, man. It's some of the favorite things I've gotten to be a part of came from the most random incidences or most simple phrases or something like that. And it's wild to see, something like that unfold. And it's really cool to get to be a part of that process. I got to say, it's always, that's something I don't think I've lost. And I'm so glad, because I have been in town for a minute now, but it's still, I still get really excited about the small things. And I hope I never lose that mentality, but I still get super stoked when somebody said, like, I hear something that I'm like, oh man, or I see something that like makes me think of a song, or it could be part of a song or something. I still get real giddy, like a kid on Christmas, just waiting on the presents and stuff.
That's good. It's good to, I think it's good to keep that mentality as you grow, because, you know, when it starts to become not so special, you know, I think that's the scary moment when you're like, yeah, you know, whatever. It's just it's another magical line I just figured out, came to my brain, and I don't really care anymore. Like, but I think if you keep that inspiring, like, damn, that's really cool. Like, I can't believe that I got to experience that, or that came to my head automatically, and I remembered to write it down. That's my problem too. Like, I'll have ideas for the show, or I'll have, like, I got to make sure I do this. If I don't write it down, like, that's gone.
Yeah,
that is come and gone.
I can relate to that 100%, and because I make myself put, even if I think I'll remember it later, I've started making myself type it in. And if I have to stop what I'm doing entirely, I'll still type it in or write it out somewhere, because I
Dude.
seriously thought that, oh, there's no way I could ever forget that.
Right.
And 15-20 minutes later, it's gone, and it's never. I get so mad. Gosh almighty, I literally had my phone right here in my pocket. I could have just taken out a note, but in my mind at the time, I was like, no, I'll never forget that. That's something really cool. And the second I get comfortable with that, I lose it. Lose it immediately.
So Nashville's gone through, I mean, everybody's gone through quite the last year plus with you know, with COVID and things being locked down, and Nashville got hit with the tornado obviously right before COVID hit. Like, what have you been, you know, without obviously touring and getting out in front of fans, what have you been really focused on the last year that we've been going through this stuff?
Anything I can, honestly, as far as, because like you said, touring has been pretty much for the most part non-existent, but just completely shutting down work is just, you know, it wouldn't have been good. Probably wouldn't have been good for me. But so, mostly just focused on writing, and we were able to get some studio stuff done here and there throughout, which was great. But writing was kind of the biggest thing that we were able to focus on during that was kind of something everybody I think was able to keep doing, whether it be through Zoom or, you know, however you sliced it. But it was very unfortunate to have to take, you know, so much time off from touring, but at the same time, personally speaking for myself, I feel like I grew a lot as a writer, which was great, and I feel like we've gotten a lot of songs written, you know, that now we have in the catalog of things to put out possibly in the future, and just kind of continue working and making sure that when the world opens back up, we're ready to open up with it. And you know, I think that's kind of where we wanted our focus to be as far as everything goes, because there's only, you know, so much really anybody could do during all this time. And at the same time, I didn't want that to be an excuse to get, you know, complacent or just a very long vacation. So but I you know, it wasn't an ideal situation, but I feel like, you know, we did have a lot of cool stuff that we were able to do during it, that I was worried we weren't going to be able to do, you know, as far as some of those songs go and writing and stuff like that goes. And, you know, it's obviously not the greatest situation, like I said, but we were able to, I feel like, do what we could, make the best out of it. And so, you know, I can't really complain. And you know, now it seems like things are starting to open back up, and I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go and get out there and meet people and play stuff and try out some of these songs we wrote over quarantine and throughout the COVID stuff. And, you know, I'm about ready. I'm about as ready to do that as I am till they say these masks aren't a thing anymore, but I don't see that coming anytime soon. I think the masks are going to be popular with us for a minute.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's weird. It depends on where you go too. I mean, like up here, things started to open back up a little while ago, and you're starting to see, some shows come through, and we have 2 big music festivals up here, 3 actually, 2 country and 1 rock music festival that comes through, and they're all full speed ahead and stuff. So it's nice to be able to. It's amazing to see a tour poster and like get excited about it, because you used to, 20 years in radio, like as many artists as I know and I follow, like seeing tour posters was like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm like, tour posters.
Yeah, you're about to start framing those things.
I am. I'm printing them off, and I'm making a little placard back here. But it's so good to see that there's some things that are starting to happen. And I know you had a chance to release some music during COVID. Most recently, Drop Dead Dangerous, which is, dude, that's a killer track, man.
Thank you so much.
I had that on repeat all day today. I was just, I got to feel it, man.
I appreciate that, man. I'm very excited. Very excited to hear that. Very excited to hear that you're digging it. It's that's kind of one I've been waiting, or very excited to release myself, and I didn't know when we were gonna get to do it with all the COVID, COVID stuff going on, and so super excited and feel very blessed that we were able to get that one out finally.
Yeah, it looks like it's tracking well. I know you we're pushing for 20,000 streams, people. So if y'all who are watching this show right now can get on Spotify and jam out to the new single, let's make it happen. But
yeah, please do. My dad actually texted me earlier after my Instagram post and corrected me, and I guess we're somewhere around the 16 or 17,000 or somewhere on now. So we're getting close to it on I think Spotify right now. So anybody that has streamed it, thank y'all so much. And that goes to you too, especially if you've been listening to it on repeat
all day.
At least
that's why you're at
a good bit of those. Yeah,
it's it's a 3.5-minute song. So let's see, it's been an 8-hour day. Yeah, you probably got a couple hundred extras.
Yeah, I'll owe you a drink or two for that, but I appreciate it, man.
So was that a song? Did you write that during the pandemic, or was that something that you had ready to go kind of before this all happened?
To be honest with you, I think we actually wrote that one right before, if I remember correctly. I kind of had an idea for the chorus, and had the night before kind of had an idea for the chorus, and had a write scheduled the next day with a really talented friend of mine, and who actually produces all of my stuff. His name's Brian Davis, but he's an incredibly talented songwriter and just an incredible guy. And I had a write with him and another friend of mine now, but it was the first time I'd actually met her and gotten to work with her. But her name's Vicky McGeehee, and she's incredibly talented too, and also just a great, phenomenal person to be around and to get to know. But and it was my first write with her ever, and I was a big fan of her work, so I was a little nervous. But that was the first song we ever wrote together, and it was me, Brian, and Vicky that day, and we sat down and finished or wrote Drop Dead Dangerous, and I was excited. I mean, I think we were all pretty excited about it, like from Jump Street, and it's kind of like one of those things I think we were certain was going to be a thing, but I think shortly after the COVID stuff started happening, and it it was like, well, it's still a thing, but when was the question
right
after that? And like I said, it's been a long road, but I don't, I really, like I said, I really don't want to complain, and I really don't feel like I have any room to complain. I've been very blessed throughout COVID to get to keep on writing and keep working towards stuff and working towards getting music out when the timing was right. So Yeah, before it sounds like I'm complaining too much, man. I've been very blessed, and I know some people weren't as fortunate through some of this stuff. So, obviously that's always tough, and my heart's with them. But I don't want to complain about my situation, because, like I said, I was pretty fortunate.
It's got to feel good to get that song out, and thank you for getting it out. It's a great track. Hopefully we get some radio traction with it too. I know that's always a great nut to crack. And but do you have any plans? I know there's it's things, as things start to open up. Do you have some lines in the water there, trying to find some places to play some shows, get back?
Oh yes, sir. We will be out in California at the end of this month. Starting off West Coast leg out in Bakersfield, Turlock, and somewhere I'd have to be looking at the exact schedule, but that's coming up towards the end of this month, into May. So extremely excited about that. That'll be my first time getting to tour over there on the West Coast, which I love it over there, but I've never gotten to work and tour over there. So this will be a first time. So very, very excited about that. And then I think we come back and hit the East Coast, going to South Georgia, I think early to mid-May, somewhere in there, and have other stuff kind of lining up right now and trying to get it on the schedule. So it seems like things are starting to move again, and I couldn't be more stoked to get out there, honestly. I just hope I can remember the words. It's been so long since I've had to sing some of these songs,
We need a couple of weeks of rehearsal before we get back.
I get to start over with the whole stage fright thing all over again, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, get Mom on the phone. She'll throw those feet back in the fire. She'll be like, just get up on the stage, boy. Just get on that stage.
Oh, man. Let me have it.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Murphy, I want to say thank you for the time, man, and the story. It's great to meet you virtually, I guess. And the Drop Dead Dangerous is the song that's streaming everywhere right now. Everybody go listen to it, and hopefully you make your Midwest run and you make it up to Wisconsin, and we can we'll get on the hang and solve all the world's problems.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. I'd love to come hang out. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Otherwise, I'll come down to your neck of the woods, and we'll cause all sorts of mass hysteria.
Hey, we can do that too. You just name the time and place, brother. I'll be there.
Awesome. Murphy Elmore, appreciate it, man. Great to get to know you. And
I appreciate you.
We're going to throw the link up here in the stream for the song, so we can get those stream numbers up and get you rolling, man. Get you rolling.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, man. You too. Have a good one.
You do the same. Murphy Elmore. Check him out on Instagram, Murphy Elmore. He's verified social media accounts. Go check him out and stream the song. Joe, I know you did. Joe, did you go stream the song? Yeah. That new song is a killer. It's a banger. I love it. Lisa, he's pretty dang good. He is pretty dang good. And come to Arizona. Yeah, Arizona's pretty open, isn't it? I think Arizona's pretty open. A lot of people heading down there for vacation. Like between Arizona and Florida, like people are jetting out. Which, by the way, we just booked a trip down to Naples. We're gonna be going to Naples for 4 or 5 days coming up in May. So excited about that. So not that you're like planning ahead for watching the show, but we're not going to do the full on show because I decided I can't take all this stuff in there. But we'll do some updates and stuff from Naples, Florida, coming up in May, which we're super excited about getting out and seeing Florida. Florida's open too, so we're gonna go have a little bit of fun in the sun. I just need to get some SPF 4000 on this pasty white Irish skin. Gotta knock it down a notch. But very cool. Murphy Elmore, make sure you check him out on all of his social medias, follow him, and stream the song. Drop Dead Dangerous is the name of the new one, and hopefully we get him up in this neck of the woods here sometime very, very soon. To all of you who watched today, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know Murphy did as well. And follow, subscribe, and join the Patreon if you want to help support the show. That would be fantastic. The link is in the comments of wherever you are currently watching it. So if you missed any of our interview today, it is available on Facebook Live. It'll be available on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cooperville Live, and the Cooperville Live Twitch channel. So download the Twitch app and be sure to follow. We're back again tomorrow at 5 p.m., so make sure you join us then. We'll have all sorts of fun commentary. And Raw the Rapper coming up on Thursday and special guest Friday. Dun, dun, dun. So stand by for that. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. We will chat soon. Good night.